there, welcome back. This should be a short video actually. This is the most offensive film of the week, but I can't see me being able to talk about it for that long. It's non-fiction, right? And it's not the filmmaking itself is the offensive thing, it's the subject matter that's the offensive thing. That's what's the problem with the film, it's the subject matter. It's called Hell House. You may or may not have known about Hell House. These are hell houses now. These are houses that they make these dramatizations in. These are like evangelistic Christians who are huge believers in the Bible and that society is going to hell and that society needs to be saved and people need to be turned to Jesus. That's the only way to save society. They are firm believers this is the case. They are firm believers in their cause. It's like there's no wavering here. They're such believers that they do these dramatizations called hell houses, which is like, let's say, a Christian, these Christians writing about social issues, but taking the most extreme Christian-based view of it. I mean, Christian-based, I don't actually mean Christian as in the Bible of forgiveness and tolerance and everything I think of when I think of Christianity. Even though I'm not a believer, I still believe basic tenets of like forgiveness and all that thing. Now this means judgment, you're going to hell if you don't follow these strictures. I mean, Christ was very hippie-ish in his beliefs and these people are really not. It's like, how would you ever... Like, they don't seem like people who would have the time of day for Christ if he was alive today. They would not have the time of day for him. They would be like, oh, you're one of them, impure. That's what it feels like in this. It feels like the side of Christianity that's corrupted all the messages of the stories. And they are making these things called hell houses where it's dramatisation of stuff like abortion, stuff like drug addiction, raves, anything that scares them. This place is full of fear. Anything in society that scares them is a sign of corruption and it has to be stopped. And so these fearful houses are put up and they have lots of gore. I mean, they have blood everywhere. Like, they have the fear of homosexuals as well, so that there's gay men dying in the hospital of AIDS who are not going to they're not going to give up their beliefs for redemption, and that's seen as a sin. And you have someone who is in trouble, but she believes, so she's redeemed. It's just like, you must believe what I believe, otherwise you're going to hell. And that kind of fearfulness that's just there. It's just every pore of the film is this fear of others, of people with different points of view who maybe tolerant, maybe kind, but they're not our point of view, so there's something wrong. And it's just that thing, that's why it's so disturbing, is they can't accept other people. I mean, they don't even go into what they think of other religions. You know? We don't even go there in this film. It's almost like the director thinks, this is enough, I don't need to go to this area, I just have to watch them do their thing. And you actually follow different families who have all gone through difficult times, and it's made them more ardent believers in their faith and what it means to them. So there was a guy who was an accountant, his wife left him, and he was left to look after 4 children on his own. So he's involved with Hell House, and all his family are Christians and they are believing in Hell House as well, and they're helping keep it going. And you have children with other people who are writing all this stuff, and the writing's tacky as hell. The writing is just so awful. It shows a complete inability to understand what the issues actually are. It's like, basically, I've read this in the paper, I don't know anyone who's actually gone through this, but I can write about it as if I'm an expert. And every bit of dialogue is tacky, awfully sentimental towards their point of view, easy to judge, goes to judgment, and there's lots of blood and lots of gore and lots of judgment through bodily fluids. It's that kind of mania that's you see in something like Passion of the Christ, where redemption's through blood, and it's like, this is weird, this is strange. It's like, this is not what Christianity... I was brought up in, you know, a Christian area, and I had to go to church when I was a kid. And this is nothing like what we were taught of Christianity. This is nothing like it. This is like, we were basically taught forgiveness and, you know, try and be nice to people, and that's it really, just try and be nice. These are the stories, and try and take from them good messages and try and be nice to people. That's all we got, but that was, I thought, was a good set of, if you're going to teach someone Christianity, that's a good set of beliefs that you should give them, and let them move on from that, and either believe or they don't, but it's still a good foundation. It's like, I can't, even though I was never that interested in church, at least the foundation there I thought was reasonable. They didn't try and push anything dangerous on me or anything. It was fine. This stuff is fearful and crazy, and it's going through schools as well. I mean, it comes from a Christian school who are pushing Christian beliefs to the students, so it's almost like they've been brainwashed to, this is the only way you can see life, this is the only way you can function. Again, it's full of fear. I was like, don't think for yourself, don't think about anything that contradicts what we're saying, just don't think about it. And because a lot of people are just sheep, basically, because a lot of people in life just want to go along and just get on with things, and they don't want to have to think too much about anything. That's not even critical, I'm just saying that's what people are like. Some people just aren't that interested, they just want to go on with their lives, and is that a social convention? Fine, I'll deal with it. I don't really need to bother about it, I'll just do what I want to do, but I'll pay lip service to this, and that's what they do. Other people follow it more closely because they've got beliefs tied to it, or they've had a need to believe in something, and that's what this feels like. They've had a need to believe in this, or a need to push their propaganda, or all yous are wrong, we're right, and we will go to heaven, rather than, I don't want to think about death too much, I don't want to think about corrupting my body too much, I don't want to think about I'll be dead soon. You know, it's like, come on, just be grown up. That's the problem with Hell House, is they're just not open to actually what's been going on in humanity in the last 200 years. It's like they're closed off a certain time period, that's it. And they'll use the tools of the modern world, but they're going to create these fantasies to infect other people with. And unfortunately it's kind of backfires slightly, because a lot of people go for these hell houses not for their message, or unfortunately for them, from their point of view, not from sanity's point of view. They don't go for the message, they're going to see a horror show of these people cutting their wrists and doing all these terrible melodramas, and embarrass themselves with their acting and lots of blood and stuff. They're going for a hoot. A bloody hoot, that's all they're going for. And then other ones are going because they're terrified and they want to have a message, and they go, and then at the end of it you go into a thing where you can go and pray for your soul, or you don't, and it's almost like suggesting if you don't go into the pray for your soul, you're going to go to hell. And there's that kind of social pressure, and a lot of people fall into that actually. So it's actually a way for them to get more people into their faith. So that's what's dodgy about it. And it's a factory thing where people are going through in groups, and then as soon as the scene's over, they go to the next scene, and then the actors from the scene before they saw go back to zero and start the scene again for the next group going through. So it's a factory of people going through the same trauma again and again, the same horribly acted, horribly written trauma with lots of blood again and again. And that must be a weird psychological problem for a person to go through that. That must cause some damage to go through this mantra again and again and again and again. And then these hell houses have been growing over the last decade, I think, and they've already grown during the time of this film. And that's like a disturbing thing for society to actually, or for Christianity to actually be falling into this kind of thing. It's like, it's stuff you hear about in Britain, but you don't actually see very much. You don't really get much religious extremism in Britain. You get little pockets of it, like someone knows someone whose family's a bit crazy with religion, and they have to put up with it. That's what normally you get in Britain. You don't really get like churches of stuff like that. Most British people would go, nah, I'm not doing that. But in America, they're much more enthusiastic, and the fear just goes through this whole production. And the people filming it are just observing it, just let people talk for themselves, explain what they're goes at, explain what the past were, why they came to it, and just show the progression of it. And then you see people coming out, people going to the thing to do the praying, or people who are offended by it by saying, you're saying I'm going to hell because of one or two little things, and that's crazy. So you get people who are mad at them at the same time. And that's just as weird as well, because you're not going to change these people's minds. You're just going there to be offended. If you're going to this thing called Hell House, you're going to either be going for faith, for a laugh, or to be offended. And none of them are very valid. It's just this whole mess of insanity that's taken over a part of American Christianity that hopefully is a passing phase. Hopefully it's not going to rise up to be something more dominant, because that would be really terrifying. And that's why this is the scariest, most offensive video of the week, because it suggests something horrible in our society. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed this week of videos. I'll be back next week. Although next week I'll probably only do 3 videos, because I'm going to be filming something with Solitary Ronin when I'm doing the videos next week, so I will probably just only do the 3 of them next week, as well as one thing I'll put with Solitary Ronin. So I'll see you later. I hope you enjoyed this.